Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Today we have some very important information about the our prisoners of conscience, our able freedom fighters, Abdou Karim, who is a very prominent activist, very prominent freedom fighter who was illegally arrested by the La Republique citizen, the La Republique police and immigration, and dumped in the La Republique dungeon. He has not been charged. We don't know why he was arrested. He remains a patriot, a true Ambazonian. Today I want to talk about his letter from the dungeon of the La Republique dungeon of whether it's Kondengi. We don't know exactly where he is now. We know he's in Sed. Some people say he's in Sed. Some say he's in Kondengi. We heard the other day that they wanted to pick him up from Kondengi to take him to Sed. The whole prison, Ambazonians in the prison, they rioted, and that is what we want. They should not allow our people to be arrested and taken to undisclosed when they, we know some are being killed, some are being, molested, maltreated, mistreated for no reason. Okay. We believe in loyalty. Okay. Abdou Karim has been one of those staunch members of this movement, of this revolution, and we believe the La Republique saw him as a threat. Okay, anybody that La Republique has arrested or is taken, he saw them as threat, because the only crime La Republique believe or dumps against them is the crime that they are activists. Okay, so I believe in Abdou Karim's patriotism. I believe in his conviction that Ambazonia is the best in the world. Okay, and he believed that is where he was born, and he say he will die for the country to be free. Okay, and that is why La Republique saw him as a threat. Okay, now this issue of referendum, Abdou Karim wrote a very powerful piece. I said, no, I have to share this piece to you people, because it's when I went through the piece, it was very, very powerful. And when we talk of referendum, okay, a lot of people just want to be against referendum because they think that they want to be the one to decide if they want referendum. No, referendum is the best opportunity for the Ambazonian people to freely express themselves. That is the best option. Okay, and when we are fighting this struggle for the people of Ambazonia, we're not fighting for ourselves. So we must not put our ego in front of something that can benefit the local population and achieve our goal. Okay, majority of the crises, as we know today, that have been fought and that has had their own independence for the past few years has been gained through referendum. Most of these crises have ended through referendum, and except we just want to put a blind eye, on something, and we try to see, oh, it is this Eritrea. Eritrea, the war between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Okay, they had their own referendum in 1993. Scotland is another example. In 2014, Scotland had their own referendum. South Sudan, okay, had theirs in 2011. Even in Canada, Quebec has had about 3 different referendums. Even though the referendum go in but Quebec still remain an autonomous portion of Canada. Okay, even the current Prime Minister of Canada today is from Quebec. You see, that's why the Quebecians are feeling good to stay within Canada, but as an autonomous region. Okay, their culture, they were colonized by France. They remain French. Nobody is touching their culture, their what they stand for. Their language remains French, but they live within Canada. Okay. Some people, those are the kind of argument that is being brought by some of the federalists, But we are not even talking about that, because overwhelmingly, we saw the people of East Timor in 1999, the people of Nepal in 1980, Kenya in 2005, okay, 2010. There is a long list of people, of countries that have gained their independence or gained their separation, okay, through referendum. So it is not new. I think by now we have to look at that. Now let's look at Comrade Abdou Karim's letter and his piece, his write-up. I will go through it, we'll read it, and we'll get some point that he brought up. Okay, the letter and the write-up from Kondengi Central Prison. Okay, he talked about the nature of a referendum. The nature of a referendum. He writes, a referendum constitutes a direct vote wherein eligible individuals within a particular jurisdiction are invited to express their opinion or make decisions. It represents a form of direct democracy that empowers the people to participate. I like that point. Empowers the people to participate, okay, directly in the decision-making process. That is something that is very important. The people are the number one people that we have to have concern with. We have been fighting for almost 7 years. The people have suffered, they have killed them, they have burned their houses. And why should we make this thing as something that concerns more of the diaspora than the local population? If the local population say they want to have their own say, okay, we don't want what happened with the Fumban and all those different conferences and all those things, that the people, you are having conferences abroad, the people are in ground zero. How is that really helping the local population to make decision? That is what Abdou Karim is saying here, and it's very, very true, okay? And he made, okay, that he reads, it represents a form of direct democracy that empowers the people to participate directly in the decision-making process, okay, particularly in matters of constitutional amendments, right, legislative changes or territorial concern. The precise procedures for conducting a referendum may vary depending on the socio-political landscape right? It is crucial, however, to distinguish the question of referendum concerning the political destiny of Southern Cameroon from a plebiscite. Okay, although both are considered democratic processes which entail gathering the opinion and preferences of the people, there exist differences in their conduct and legal implication. A plebiscite is typically utilized to gauge public sentiment on a particular issue without necessarily being legally binding. Okay, and that is Comrade Sarko's argument, where he is putting that he prefers plebiscite than referendum. I've never seen in the world that when two countries are fighting, they come and ask them to use plebiscite. I don't understand. Okay. For example, plebiscite conducted on the 11th of February 1961 has no more value than a sampling of opinion of the people of Southern Cameroon at that time. Okay. Conversely, a referendum is a formal ballot through which citizens are asked to vote on a specific proposal or constitutional amendment, and the outcome carries legal weight, often leading to changes in law or policy. Regarding the question of whether a referendum is an option for the people of Southern Cameroon, the response can only be resounding yes, unless one assumes the power to decide on their own behalf. This is Abdou Karim, now in Kondengi Central Prison, writing, reaffirming his stance that he believes referendum is the best option that can really give the people, the local population, a say to their own destiny. And when you compare with plebiscite and referendum, plebiscite has no binding, right? We have to make sure that we put the people of Southern Cameroon first. Okay, first. That is the number one important thing. Okay. Most of the time, most international community have proposed referendum to settle this Southern Cameroon conflict. Okay, many people ask why we should even propose a referendum, considering that we had a plebiscite on our independence in 1961, and even the UN actually followed up and granted us independence. But that doesn't matter, okay? We know that referendum, we also consider our stay, with the people of La Republique. There have been intermarriages, there have been many other aspects that bind us in some aspect, okay? Because when they ask the people of Southern Cameroon, do you want to join Nigeria or join? That was the plebiscite question, because it wasn't, they didn't give us any other option. But this time they are giving you an option. Okay, that is different. During that time, the United Nations, okay, gave us two options to go back to join Nigeria or join French Cameroon. So this time we have the option. That's why we are saying that if the international community is bringing in something, know that most of them have discussed this thing before. Okay, and they believe that they have gone through our story, they have gone through our history, they've seen the resilience of the people of Ambazonia, and they believe that a referendum would be the best option. Why should it be a problem that most people will come and be recounting the history of this problem, this one is it? It doesn't work like that, okay? Now, Abdou Karim, in his letter, in his piece, the second point that he made mention was the referendum question. He writes, a fundamental element of any referendum is a formulation of an appropriate question that encapsulates the aspiration and desires of the population seeking self-determination. In the case of Ambazonia, the question could revolve around the territory's political status, encompassing the choice between accepting Cameroon's territorial claim over it or pursuing the restoration of its statehood. The question should be designed in a manner that provides clarity and ensures a meaningful and viable choice for the people of Southern Cameroon. It is imperative that the only acceptable initiative be binary in nature, wherein all eligible citizens must choose between yes or no. A commonly used format for the referendum question on independence could be: should Southern Cameroon become independent and sovereign state? Okay, so Comrade Abdou Karim is trying to put his own way of how the referendum question will be. Okay, he is saying that in the plebiscite question that they asked back then, it was yes and no. Okay, like, and they always ask yes and we, that they confuse the people. I know some people are still talking about La Republique being involved with this. We are trying to make it clear. This will be an internationally led negotiation process. So the question of this aspect will be done by the international community and international observers. So I like the question: should Southern Cameroon become an independent and sovereign state? Very good question, right? So that it makes people, when you're answering yes to a sentence that they give you, right? But if they say, if they form their own question and just come and say yes and we, yes and no also, it will take us back to what happened back then in the fake Aijo referendum, right? And a plebiscite that they had. The question that I'm really asking is about the viability of the process, right? But from what we know, okay, as Abdou Karim writes, the process for a referendum in Southern Cameroon will typically involve several steps, including the establishment of a referendum commission and the definition of referendum question and options. Okay, then the definition of Southern Cameroon and what it means to be a Southern Cameroonian or stroke Ambazonian must be clear and specific, impervious to attempts by the Cameroonian government to adulterate Ambazonian nationalism. This generation has no excuse for ignorance, unlike our forefathers who lacked the necessary information to make informed decisions. We have lived with La République du Cameroon for almost 70 years and are well informed about their nature, character, and level of sovereignty. The question of who is a Southern Cameroonian, who is an Anglophone, and who is an Ambazonian must be unequivocally settled. Very good. This is about the process. The argument about those people who are against the referendum is more about this process. That is why I listened to Tibor Nagy, who was part of the meeting in Washington, D.C., explain on the, okay, this process is like any other referendum in the world where the international community has recognized that these two people have been fighting. The two belligerent countries have been fighting. They need to settle this thing. And what is the easiest and fast way to settle something that they have recognized that these people are a recognized people? We are not terrorists. We are not rebels that just come from anywhere and want to start fighting the government. No. Okay. Southern Cameroon is a country. Okay. And when you are having that historical, that is why you see La Republique is afraid to go to negotiation. And if you want to, like Tibor Nagy said, you can draw La Republique to the negotiation table for 10 years. They will never go there. Because you win them. How do you have a good case and you're asking the other person, your rival, to meet you in court? You know that you win. He know that you win him in court. You are drawing him to court. He will not come. You send, except they send a mandat, the mandat arrest, or they call it in French, arrest warrant. We had filed our case in the ICC, in ICJ. We have filed several cases there against Paul Biya. But do you have a response? No. This is 7 years we have not had response from ICC or ICJ, International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court. No response from those people. So when you think that the international community has that time to be walking all over the world and thinking that they'll sorry you and come and solve your problem, you are joking. You are joking. La Republic is, as we are fighting the war on the ground and fighting the war in the diplomatic side, the same way La Republic is fighting. Okay? La Republic will send envoys now. They will go and be sending, talking. This is, okay, convincing the international community. So there's little opportunity we have. We should not lose that opportunity. The amount of money La Republic is pouring to these international organizations, to lobbies, sending envoys to United Nations, sending envoys to this EU, African Union. It's not easy. You think that you keep fighting something that the international community is trying to give you a path that will be easy, achievable, like other countries have achieved. Very simple, that they will come and create a buffer zone. Okay, that takes me to the next point where Abdou Karim made some important points about that, about creating. It is very normal. Okay, the next topic he write about is time frame and supervising authority. This is other concern about those people who are saying, oh, referendum, who's gonna supervise this is La Republic will rig the election and so forth. How do you win? How do you win?
Interested in achieving.
How do you win? And these people, there's no way you can win La Republic if you want to take them to negotiation table. La Republic will win you people. See the small gymnastic that they just did in Switzerland. They removed their participation in Switzerland, and they went and start creating something new in Canada. Then they asked now their communication minister to write a communique that La Republic was not part of that decision that they make. That even prime minister, their colonial prime minister there, was shocked. Prime minister is asking that you send me to go and start the process in Canada. Then now you say you never send me there. So the Canada government say, La Republic, lie. What you people sign up for, we'll follow up where you ended. The Canada government now said, La Republic, no, you have run from Switzerland. Canada, you took us to Canada, you want to run again. Canada government said, no, this is not going to work. We're going to meet this. And La Republic now was shocked, surprised the way Canada government is taking it, like their personal problem. Okay. During this negotiation, some leaders did not go also, or they did not support it. So at the end of the day, La Republic abandoned it. Right? Now, do you think we can fight this war for the next 7 years again? La Republic will come to any other negotiation? But the the international community is giving us an option, okay? And there are many people who want to argue about things and all. Now is not time to be talking history, now we are talking facts, okay? How did Eritrea had their own referendum? How did South Sudan had their referendum? How did all these other countries had their referendum? That is what we are talking now. We are talking facts, things that happen. We are not talking jargons here, okay? Because there are people who start be recounting scholastic material. We are not talking scholastic material here, okay? We are talking practicality now. This is a crisis. Southern Cameroon versus La Republique. We are proposing a referendum option. What do you think? Okay. Now, compare the other referendums or referenda. Compare them and come now and say, okay, this is Southern Cameroon's option. This is an option. That's what the international community is telling us now. The referendum is an option. Okay. They did not say that negotiation will not be no. They are giving you an option that will create a easy path to the safe passage for Ambazonia, okay, towards an autonomous and a free region. The international community has nothing to lose. We have everything to lose. If they give you an opportunity that you can take and you say, no, we don't want this, they will leave and go. Okay? They will leave and go. And you will be there fighting. They say, okay, when you fight for another 7 years, we'll come back again. So the supervising authority, as Comrade Abdou Karim mentioned, let me read that passage about the supervising authority and the time frame. Determining the time frame for referendum is of utmost importance when considering the fair and transparent process that Southern Cameroon seeks for its self-determination. It is crucial that this referendum takes place within a reasonable period. Very important, reasonable period following the establishment of institutions managed by Southern Cameroonians and an integration of international bodies as impartial observers. Okay? To ensure transparency and credibility, a supervising authority, preferably by an impartial international organization or a neutral body unanimously agreed upon by all parties to oversee the entire process. The case of Eritrea serves as a significant example where the United Nations played a vital role as a supervising authority during the 1993 referendum, ultimately leading to the peaceful separation of Eritrea from Ethiopia. Similarly, Scotland conducted a referendum on independence in 2014 under the auspices of Scottish government, guaranteeing a democracy process. Quebec's experience within Canada also involved referenda supervised by the provincial government, exemplifying the importance of local involvement. That is talking about the supervisor. We have said, okay, any process, any electoral process, because this is all about election, any process will be supervised by the international community, okay, and also will have much to do about the local population, okay. Anything that is happening to that referendum will be conducted in accordance with the international norms as all other referendum or referenda has happened. That's how it will gonna be. The supervision is very simple, okay, conducted by the international community, conducted and supervised by them. So it is very clear that this will be a very nice option as most scholars, most international community members have said, okay, this has nothing to do with any individual. I want to make that very clear. People will be calling names of this person. They want to call this one name. They want to call this one name. For what? We are looking at what can work for the people. For 7 years, Ambazonians have been killed. Many are in jail now. Okay, many are still in concentration camps. Many are in asylum camps and refugee camps. So how do some of our leaders don't even think? People are suffering now to speak. People are in jail. These people want to come out of jail. You think that these people want to be there for another 7 years? Or the refugees are not tired of being refugees? We have to think all these things. If there's an easy process that can lead us to a peaceful settlement, and the international community, all referendum, no one referendum has not been supported by the international community. Okay? Because it creates more say to the people who have their country. The local population, they have the say. Not La Republic will come and decide, oh, you vote, you will not vote, you will vote. No. La Republic has no handed. The international community will tell them that, please move your soldiers, move anything that you have there. The local population will take over Ambazonia. Okay? They will conduct the election. They will know that these are the people who are going to vote. Okay? The next point Abdou Karim mentioned is about the important stakeholders. Okay, this is very important. Let me read. The inclusion of key stakeholders is essential to establish a comprehensive and inclusive referendum process for Southern Cameroon. The referendum should involve Southern Cameroonian independence movement, civil society organizations, and international observers, including representatives from La République du Cameroon government. Engaging all relevant parties can foster dialogue, prevent conflict, and build trust in the process. In the case of Eritrea, the participation of both the Eritrean and Ethiopian government was crucial in ensuring the acceptance and legitimacy of the outcome. Similarly, Scotland's referendum incorporated extensive debates and discussions among political parties promoting inclusivity. Quebec's referenda were the result of negotiation between the provincial government of Quebec and the Canadian federal government, emphasizing the significance of intergovernmental cooperation. This is very important when it comes to stakeholders, because everyone wants to feel involved. Okay, any organization that is involved should be trusted organization. We have to see how this organization can be trusted, and they'll be part of it. Okay, so far as there are people from Southern Cameroon and La République government, that's it. The interest of La République government is to see that these people really voted, but they will have no decision making on who to vote. There has nothing like that. They are coming to watch the process to see that these people voted to leave them. Yes, that is what they are coming to see. So they'll have no issue with that. Okay, the international community, once the vote is complete, the international community will approve it. Okay, so imagine Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, in 100%, if 60 vote yes, they want to join, they want to leave La Republic, they will leave. It must not be 80, 90, 100% or whatever. No. Okay. The majority is what people want to see, right? In whether there is magic, whether there is witchcraft, do you think our people will vote to join these people or to continue to live in this their political brouhaha that is happening in their country? None. Our people are planning to come back home. Refugees are planning. Prisoners are. All of them have to be released. They have to come back home. See what is happening in that La République kangaroo courts. They will put you in jail for 5 years, no trial. Then they'll come and give you 7 years. In normal circumstances, once you spend 7 years in awaiting your trial, if they give you 7 years, they will cut that 5 years that you spend awaiting your trial. But it doesn't happen like that in the Republic. You spend that 5 years for free. All this Taraba 37 and the Nera 10. 7 jail times in La Republic Dungeon of Kondengi. Abdou Karim is one of them. People who are fighting for the liberation of their country are being jailed, are being locked up. Some are being killed. When I listen to La Republic citizens sometimes when they are talking about this government, they know how to talk. They are good at talking, but no action. So when you believe that these people, La Republic people, can come and help you, for 7 years we'll be fighting. They are there in Douala Yaoundé as if nothing is happening in then they'll have the big mouth to come and be talking, one are indivisible. One and indivisible, Camaro. Those people are mad sometimes. So they will see us fighting like this, then they will come and be just shouting, one and indivisible, one and indivisible. The next issue is capitulation and calculation. That's what the next topic is. Referendum, a capitulation or a calculation. The notion of a referendum should not be seen as a capitulation or a mere calculation for Southern Cameroonians. Rather, it provides an opportunity for the oppressed to decide in a democratic and non-violent approach whether to remain under oppressive condition or pursue their aspiration for independence by organizing a referendum supervised by reputable third parties such as the United Nations. Southern Cameroon can assert its urgency and challenge the ongoing territorial occupation and genocide. The endorsement of the international community will signify an implicit recognition of Southern Cameroon as an independent state even before the process commences. This is a very important point, okay? Once the international community starts saying we want referendum for these people, it's another way of recognition, and that is very true. Some of our dull people, I don't want to use harsh word on this about people sometimes. Whether these leaders are dull or what, or they are ignorant, or I don't know. But ignorant is not an excuse. If you are ignorant in this world, okay, when you talk, the international community will not recognize the result of a poll administered under threat of violence or intimidation. They will not recognize that. What they will recognize is that nothing should violate the international law. It should go in as other referendums or referenda has taken place. So we should not feel as if the international community does not have a constitution or legal law, okay? There is a constitution. The United Nations has its constitution on referendum. So once the international community is coming in, they are using that constitution, okay? And that constitution is an international constitution that has its constitution and legal laws, okay? And that will tell you that it has that empowerment of empowering the people of Southern Cameroon to say, okay, you people now have been recognized. Okay. Do you think that only fighting for the past 7 years, you people don't know that the international community are watching? They are commenting. They know that these people are fighting. But do you think you can fight for another 7 years? If it's only this fighting for another 7 years, my brother, it's not go easy. It's not go, because many people have left this struggle because one, they are tired. And La Republic was using this method to prolong the war because La Republic think that the longer the struggle, the longer the war, the easier they can win. Okay? But at the end of the day, the international community too will not stand people being killed, houses being burned every day. Things are being like that. Okay? And if you are looking at this AGOA thing, it's a very symbolic sanction that was given on La Republic. People don't take it serious. It is very symbolic. It tells you that Cameroon government and military were committing atrocities, human rights abuses, and all those things that they were doing in Ambazonia were against international law, international human rights laws. And those are the things that the international community looks at. They will be seen, do not want the killing to continue. They don't want these people who have legal thing. And if you see, look at the countries that voted for the people of Amazonia, right? The Amazonian independence. More than 64 countries voted yes. So the international community has seen the legality. If we want to go through the courts, we'll win La Republic. That's why La Republic cannot even pass through ICC or ICJ. If we want to go through negotiation, we'll still win La Republic. If we want to go through even through the local, maybe AU, African Union, we'll still win La Republic. Because there was a judgment already passed between Cameroon and Ambazonia in African Charter that La Republic did not respect. Okay? So, there are many instances that La Republic has gone against the international obligations. And you think after we continue fighting this fight, La Republic has gone against Switzerland negotiation. They left Canada. They left Canada. Take them to any other negotiation. If they will respect, they will not respect it. So those people who are refusing a referendum, they should tell us what happened in Eritrea and Ethiopia. What happened in South Sudan? What happened in the most recent crisis, independent crisis that happened? It was through referendum. Through referendum. And we are seeing true patriotism. Those people who are saying that, oh, these people are they don't know conflict that have happened across the world. Okay, they don't know. Okay, this is a God-ordained struggle. Okay, my concern is not whether God is on our side or the international community is on our side. We have all those on our side. Okay, my only concern is this cult of ignorance on these leaders, Ambazonian leaders. They have this ignorance that if it's this man's idea, I will not take it because that man doesn't, that man is not in my group, or that man is not in my this, that man is not my friend, that man, this has nothing to do with that. Okay, if they take that kind of mentality, if they take that kind of mentality, even when I watch Comrade Sama Thomas was talking about this, I was very happy because he really emphasized that point of when you and your brother get problem, no take this problem, take and go outside. The diplomats do not work like this. I watched an excerpt of an interview in Sarko's television there, and they were asking Tibonagi why is he supporting plebiscite. Tibonagi instead was asking that guy who was interviewing Tibonagi, say, okay, what option do you have? It was a very challenging question. You are telling an international diplomat who is trying to resolve a crisis that concerns your country, and because he himself, he originally comes from Hungary, and Hungary also had an issue that caused them to separate, okay, with another country, okay, but he is just trying to look at ways to resolve the crisis. You are asking him why is he supporting referendum. That is a path that he have seen. Tibonagi is not somebody who does not know Cameroon. He has been ambassador to Cameroon. He has been ambassador to many African countries. So he's telling us what can resolve our crisis very easily, peacefully, without any problem. Because once there is referendum, La Republic cannot keep staying in Ambazonia. He will not. Because the international community will levy heavy sanction on La Republic. They cannot. Especially when it comes to the United Nations. You cannot do that to United Nations. La Republic is doing this because they have a backing of France. But once they go to referendum, France will just move their hand in that thing. France will move their hand. And that is what will happen. So, those people talking of, oh, let's conduct a plebiscite, a this and that, they are just calling jargons. Those are just words. You are calling things that I made this clear. This war from day one, from the day that Comrade, the consortium, they pass that thing that from today, from Monday, we will see if La Republic own Ambazonian or the people of Ambazonia own Ambazonia. Since that day, the people of Ambazonia is telling the world that they own Ambazonia. Ghost town. I'm still telling the people of Amazonia, please keep your ghost town till the day that they will have that independent, that full-fledged separation that will confirm. Ghost town is a symbol of referendum. Everything that we are doing is a symbol of a referendum. And the international community have seen that majority of the people of Amazonia want to go their own way. So, if any leader or any person today is afraid of a referendum, then the person doesn't know the dynamic of this crisis. Okay? Who will respect Ghost Town if they don't like the crisis? You think that one day of somebody's business, every Monday, country Sunday, people still respect it. Then you think that those people that have been respecting this Ghost Town will go and vote that they want to join La Republic. Man. Even if it's witchcraft, okay, that tells you what? It tells you even the voices, as Atanganji call it, the voices in the bushes, our resilient restoration fighters, still having the strength more than ever before. What does that tell you? Those are the future generals, future soldiers of the future Ambazonia. They are still fighting. kudos to all the brave warriors. I'm telling you. So let's not talk much, but if you see the argument, anybody's arguing against referendum doesn't understand the dynamics of international community, and they will let them bring any crisis that did not end through referendum. Let them bring one. Any independent crisis that did not end through a referendum. Okay. Because the people voted. Okay. But now, if they want us to go through negotiation, it will be very difficult. Very, very difficult. But they should not forget, referendum also has part that will still bring in negotiations. Okay. And if they call La Republic to the negotiation, if La Republic does not come this one, the international community will not worry. Okay. But when you want only to go to negotiation, what are you going to be discussing there? The one that we had in Switzerland, what were they talking about? They went to Canada. What did they talk about? We don't even know. So you want your destiny to be determined by some few some few people who are just they don't even know what they are doing. If we want to go to negotiation, even this negotiation for this referendum, there will be negotiation. There will be negotiation. But I'll prefer to go to a negotiation on a particular topic, that is referendum, than to go and sit in a negotiation that they'll be telling you stories on the stories on the stories. And that's what happened in Canada and Switzerland. La Republic was in Switzerland. They sent somebody to Switzerland. But they were very cunning. Okay, because they were not serious. But if the negotiation concerns referendum, if La Republic miss one meeting, that's all for them. The international continue will continue, and that's what they have realized. I'm telling you, people, the international community have realized that La Republic is very cunning. And the white man, when a white man hold you, if the white man hold you, they know how to do their thing. They can leave you to behave as if you are happy that you are winning. But when they hold you, they'll bring all your story. So let La Republic be doing that is magu, going around and come do this. They are watching at him. Okay. This referendum is another way that they want to hold him. They'll hold him like that. They'll say, move. La Republic cannot move. Yes. We will hold meetings, negotiation on referendum. Those negotiations will stand because La Republic can come on. If you don't come, good and fine. The international community will approve it. You say, okay, Ambazonian, go and conduct your election. The United Nations will come there with their buffer. They put a buffer zone. Buffer zone means the United Nations will come with their military and their police, everything. They will be the one controlling the whole of Amazonia. La Republic will pack and go. Yes. They will conduct the election. That's what will happen. So we will have that more power and support from the international community than going to Canada and be begging for La Republic to come. The whole Switzerland talks. La Republic sent one person one time and they never came again. Canada, the same thing. They asked Prime Minister, okay, go and be arranging something there. We'll see if we can come. The Prime Minister hit his head here and there, send delegation to Canada. When they went to La Republic, they were asking the Prime Minister that who said you to go and be doing that nonsense there? The Prime Minister said, you sent me to go and do. They said no. That is how foolish and dull those people they call themselves prime minister are. No powers. You go and you are in a country where you don't even have a say. In a normal country, power sharing is what entails in any federation. The Republic government is planning to put Frank Biya. Why? When they were supposed to be a vice president, right? That vice president should be the one to replace Biya. It should be an Anglophone. There's no question about that. There's no question about power sharing. That vice president should be an Anglophone. Do you believe Quebec? Justin Trudeau of Quebec is from Quebec. Quebec is the small part of Canada too. French, like how Ambazonian is like that. But the president is coming back from there. The current president of Canada is from Quebec. But these our foolish people. Even Foncha made this clear in his last interview he said this thing was power sharing. Their idea for joining these people was because they will be sharing power, they will share certain ministries. That was the idea that they voted to join these people. It was not that Biya will be there for 40 years, Aija will be there for 20 years. Then they will come and be telling us, oh, what an individual. These people, they are really crazy. This generation is not that, or our papa, their generation. We'll not go leave that nonsense. So thank you for watching. I want to thank my brother Abdou Karim. I want to tell them that we are gonna keep fighting for them until they will release all of them. I saw that nonsense that they did for the Taraba 39. They were giving them 12 years, 7 years, 12 years, 7 years. What is all that? The United Nations Commission on Human Rights and this passed a judgment. Even the Nigeria court, High Court, that they should release all these people, all, because their arrest is illegal. Okay, it's illegal. You go to Nigeria, arrest the whole of Ambazonian leadership, from Seseko to, then you go now to Taraba, in a refugee camp where people are seeking refuge. You arrest them. You are sentencing refugees, people who are running from war. You go and arrest them. Tell me if this is not barbaric. So anything that people are talking about is just passing through and going this way. It doesn't, okay, because we have people that are suffering. And if we can end this thing through the international community, saying that this is how we can end it, this is how we can end it, why are we refusing? Okay, so I want to thank all our prisoners of conscience, our resilient prisoners of conscience. They should stay strong. We will not end this thing until all of them are released. All. Because all of them are illegally being arrested and illegally being imprisoned. Okay? La République must compensate all prisoners, compensate all the families. Because anything La République is doing in Ambazonia is illegal. Anything they are doing is occupation. Okay? It's annexation. So they can just nothing that they are doing now can be justified in the court of law. That's why they are afraid to go to any court of law, because there's no document to show what they're doing to justify what they're doing. There's no document. So our people should not be worried. We'll keep fighting. We'll make sure that we'll regain what belongs to us. We'll have our independence to restore our statehood. So whatever is happening now is just what is gonna be for temporal purpose, and we should not worry about that. Okay. Yes, we have those critics that who want to just criticize. Okay, they can criticize what they do. The other thing is it's not important. Okay, we should stay like true patriot. Okay, just be patriot, and your patriotism will pay off. Okay, loyalty to country is always okay. Loyalty to your government, loyalty to your people. Okay, never give up, because that is what makes you a person, your own country, not other person's country. Yes. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, our brother Abdou Karim. We pray for you. We are praying for you guys there. And I want to thank also our resilient freedom fighters. Okay. Just keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning. That's all. Until we reach Boya. Thank you very much. And God bless you all. Until we meet again in the next episode.